so we did really talk about Oakland. And again, why wouldn't we? Finally, we see Oakland get into the playoffs. It was a huge thing for Oakland Raider fans, for Oakland Raiders organization. And actually, I think for the NFL, probably a lot of people would disagree with that, call me a homer on that one. But I really do think that it was good.
We're not going to be homers for long, according to some reports, so we got to soak this in, man. We got to soak it in for all it's worth.
Stay in Oakland.
Please.
All right, so, but there's been speculation. Now, you told me before that Calais Campbell looks like he's going to go to Jacksonville.
Yep.
If you're the Raiders, who would you go after? Let's say that Jacksonville isn't in the conversation.
Okay.
Who would you rather go after? And I'm actually going to add a player. And I haven't told you that I'm going to do this.
It's fine.
Would you rather go after Calais Campbell, who's a defensive lineman for Arizona Cardinals at this time, or Dante Hightower, the linebacker from the New England Patriots, or the running back from Minnesota, Adrian Peterson?
Well, honestly, so those three players would be options for sure. AP, I'm going to scrap and just say you're low on the priority totem pole for right now. And the only reason why I say that is because AP's older, and he's got also other options with the Patriots, which actually probably would be a better move on his part if he wants to win immediately. Not saying that we're not going to win immediately, but in my opinion, Latavius Murray, if we re-sign him, which we're going to have to fork over some cash for that though, is a younger version of AP, just not as physically aggressive, I would say, but definitely a third down, definitely a three-down kind of back, and who is your full-time back, and then we've got some complementary backs to back him up, which we saw a lot of glimpses of this past season. However, I would say on top of my priority list is our defense. Okay, Jack Del Rio's a defensive-minded guy. We've got a really good offense, which we really need to make sure that we keep up. But our defense is what has really been letting us down, especially passing on third downs, run defense especially. We got to really work on that. Dante Hightower would be on my high priority list right now. I would find a way to pay him to get him to come to Oakland. He's younger than Campbell. Different position though, but he is younger and he's very smart. He can cover very well, which we saw a lot of glimpses of in Patriots runs, especially in the playoffs. He's a very good linebacker, and he also is a run stopper. We definitely need that in our linebackers, because one thing about Bruce Irvin and Malcolm Smith is they're great. They're good linebackers, and they were great in Seattle. But one thing that Seattle was known for was stopping your run, and then they had the Legion of Boom on the outside to stop you. So really, those linebackers didn't have to do a whole lot except for being really physical. So
just kind of being there.
Yeah. So when you put Bruce Irvin and you put Malcolm Smith in coverage positions, such as man-to-man against these now faster backs or now faster and taller tight ends, it's a big matchup problem, and that's not what they do. Bruce Irvin, I think, had 6-7 sacks this year. That's all rushed to the QB. Malcolm Smith didn't really had tackles, but he didn't show up like what we thought he would be in his first year with us. So if we're going to lose him, I'm okay with that, but Dante Hightower, to me, should be someone that we bring on. And since it sounds like we're losing out on the Campbell sweepstakes, we should definitely try to go after Dimitri Poe. Definitely a nose tackle that can get in between the guard and the center is what we definitely need, especially pressure.
Absolutely.
Big body, has a high motor, and a young athlete as well.
And if you're Oakland, you have a better chance of getting Poe because he is a divisional rival.
Right.
And if the Chiefs aren't going to sign him, especially since they forked up a ton of cash
to
Eric Berry, if you're Dimitri Poe, you're like, all right, I'll see you twice a year.
Yeah, I mean, that would be who I would go to. And plus, I would almost say that once the Raiders beef up their defense, they could probably actually even rival the Chiefs, because they push us just as much as we push them. And I think once we beef up our defense, we'll be really well, especially with Derek Carr and with Crabtree and Cooper. That offensive line will be really well. And I also think outside of going for obviously a nose tackle and going for a linebacker, we really should go for a cornerback as well. There's two cornerbacks that I wrote down that I really think we should take a hard look at. And the Oakland Raiders have $43 million in cap space. We really want to think about utilizing this, maybe to beef this up. And I know we just got Sean Smith and we got Nelson this past offseason or 2 off seasons ago, but there's also AJ Bowie from Houston, that he's really good cornerback, and then also Stephon Gilmore from Buffalo. He would be a really good cornerback to replace DJ Hayden, and he's younger than Sean Smith, so that would be a really good. And I mean, we do have Emerson, who was, I think, a former 2nd round pick or a 1st round pick, but we need more than just him. And Hayden was sometimes a defensive liability. Yeah. And notice the players I suggest we should get all defense.
Sometimes DJ Hayden was a defensive liability.
Every once in a while, when the ball was
every single freaking time.
45% of offensive plays.
I don't want to start on DJ Hayden. Okay. I'm not going to talk about DJ Hayden because it'll be a longer rant than the other one.
Also, though, what I think we should do too is we do have a lot of young players that we probably should look at developing, like our running back. I'd probably look at maybe a veteran running back, not AP per se, because I think it'll be a little bit more cash than what we should spend. Because we've got Derek Carr and Khalil Mack that we need to make top re-signing priorities. Mm-hmm. Next season, though, we're gonna have another one with Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
So those 3 by themselves are pillars to our team. Regardless of where we go, whether it's Oakland or Las Vegas, they are foundational players, and we cannot afford to lose them. So I say this: we need to spend in free agency to help, but we need to be cautious because we want to make sure that we keep our signature players. So
and to back your point up on that one, we got to the playoffs with those players.
Right.
If we kept the same team, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because we made the playoffs.
Right.
Now, of course, obviously, we all know about Derek Carr getting injured, and then it was Connor Cook who had to step in because Matt McGloin got injured as well. Mm-hmm. But honestly, if you're Oakland, you're right. You have to re-sign Khalil Mack. Mm-hmm. You have to re-sign Derek Carr. Derek Carr has actually come out and said twice now, actually, that I am a Raider for life.
So play the cards right. Don't disrespect him by giving him a low ball. But I just think that those 3 need to be on the priority list, especially next year with Cooper. I think it'll be a little trickier because we'll then know what our cap number really is next year because we'll have gotten through this free agency. We'll have re-signed Carr and Mack, and we'll see where we go from there. But $43 million this year. Hopefully we spend it well or save it, develop some players because we do have some needs, especially on the defensive side, and that's something that needs to be our top priority because our offense is looking great. We definitely need some defense to back it up.
Yeah. Like you just alluded to, we have a little less than $43 million in cap space. They're going to re-sign Derek Carr and Khalil Mack. If they don't, we're going to be back to 16 more years of winter.
I cannot. I can't even.
We have 13 unrestricted free agents going into free agency, basically. And 3 of those 13 players are going to be linebackers.
Yeah. 2
of which who started. Like you said, Malcolm Smith was one of them.
Right.
The other guy is Perry Riley Jr., who actually had a pretty decent year this year. Not a guy is not a household name.
Yeah.
The bigger need, in my opinion, is linebacker position. Jack Del Rio did come out and say that he wants to start from the inside out, defensive-wise. So, for those of you kind of like, what are you talking about? He's talking about D tackles, then you talk about the D ends, then you go to the linebackers, then you go to the secondary.
Right.
In this particular free agency, if Campbell is really going to go to Jacksonville, that helps you. Because you get a Poe, who is, in my opinion, a little bit better of a run stopper, which is what they need the most. Then you can get linebacker Dante Hightower, who you said is high on your list. He's number 1 on my list. The reason being, first of all, yes, we need linebackers. Malcolm Smith was nice because he was one of the faster linebackers in the NFL.
Right.
Could have easily been playing safety if he lost a little bit more weight. Honestly, could have. But because he plays linebacker and because he's one of the faster ones, he really, honestly, that covers up his bad tackling.
Yeah.
Okay? He was not very good at tackling. So we need a guy who is a physical linebacker, a guy who knows how to play the linebacker position, and who also is very coachable.
Mm-hmm.
Dante Hightower. And also, for those of you who don't know, Jack Del Rio played linebacker at USC and in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So what better team to go from Bill Belichick than a guy who played your position,
basically.
And your defensive coordinator, well, we'll see, Ken Norton Jr.
Yeah.
He also played linebacker. So, honestly, to me, it makes sense of why Dante Hightower would go.
Right.
Now, having said that, that is honestly saying that's the Patriots don't slap the franchise tag on him.
Yeah.
They could. I don't think they are, because I don't think they want to put that much money towards Dante Hightower.
They're not known to sign long-term large contracts, per se, unless your name is Tom Brady.
Yeah. So I think our biggest need is the linebacker position.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dante Hightower, I do like Adrian Peterson. I think that would be a really nice complimentary piece. You're going to be spending more money than you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, you'd be probably spending more money on him than Latavius Murray.
Honestly,
Murray
yeah.
is younger. And that's if Murray does want to play, because I hear a lot that he's kind of like already gone, basically. Which, I don't know, tear to my eyes. But your son actually was asking me, he goes, do you think they're going to get AP? And I go, well, I've heard a lot of reports that the Raiders are actually kind of trying to maybe draft Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, okay.
And and in some of their drafts they could.
Yeah.
Now, like you say, we need more defense and offense. But if you do get a Christian McCaffrey, that does help. You have a lot of young running backs. You can rotate all three of your running backs during that whole year. If someone comes out and is better than all three than all the other ones, then hey, you have a starting running back. If you don't, you can keep swapping them in, substituting them in.
Yeah.
You still have Derek Carr. You still have Amari Cooper. You still have that same great offensive line.
Yeah.
And now, all you have to do in free agency and basically the draft, other than the Christian McCaffrey pick, would be defense. And I think, honestly, it makes sense. If Oakland doesn't draft a defensive player in the first round, I'm not going to be disappointed.
Right.
If they draft an offensive lineman, I'm really like, okay, why? If they draft a receiver, then I'll be pissed.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in that. If they draft a running back or if they draft a defensive player, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like, okay, whatever. If they draft another quarterback, I'm going to throw this pen at your path.
A couple of notable, though, linebackers that fit our 4-3 scheme, though, that also could fall to Oakland that we have interest in. They're a little on the older side, such as Sean Weatherspoon. Actually, a pretty good linebacker out of Atlanta. He's got some veteran leadership, so that would probably be good for a young linebacking core that we may bring up. There's also Brandon Copeland, I think he was from the Saints. Pretty young player, but
any player coming from the Saints, honest, and I'm being dead serious here, any defensive player coming from the Saints, I say no.
Okay. Then you got Terrence West as a running back, and you got D'Angelo Williams, which I think would be interesting because about the same age as AP. Obviously, not as much injuries, but if you're going to do
a lot cheaper.
Yeah, if you're going to do a 3-man rotation, why not? You can easily start him, give him
absolutely
12 carries, give the other ones about 8 carries each.
And Pittsburgh doesn't have as good of an offensive line as Oakland does.
Right.
And he did actually really well when Le'Veon Bell was out for the 4 games. All right, so just want to remind everyone, again, thank you for listening, by the way. Please follow us on all the social media. We have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, and we do have a Facebook. It's Drew Code, spelled DREWCODE, Sports Talk, which is the second part of that. So Drew Code Sports Talk on all those social media. So please follow us. Again, we really appreciate you guys watching. We are shortening up these videos again. So we appreciate your patience and your feedback. Thank you guys for watching.